Chapter 4 Tender-Hearted. I was trying to cut into my cheap piece of filet mignon, but was getting nowhere. Since my steak knife wasn't doing the job, I went to the kitchen and got a 7-inch carving knife. I had success in cutting myself a bite-sized piece, but once I got it into my mouth, it was like chewing on a piece of leather. The meat was inedible. I immediately got up and threw it in the garbage. Boy, did I regret buying that meat from a different store than usual at a cheaper price. As I pondered this, I heard God speak to my heart. He made me aware of an analogy. Just as a hardened piece of steak is not desirable to us, neither are our hardened hearts desirable to God. When we allow our hearts to be hardened, God's love is unable to pass through us, whether to receive it or give it away. His words reminded me of something that I said to my pastors not so long ago. I said, I feel like my heart is a piece of raw meat that is being tenderized. I literally felt as if my heart was being pounded with a steel mallet, just as a tough piece of meat is made tender. My heart was enduring much pain in that time of my life. I was experiencing the loss of one of my sons, and also the loss of one of my best friends. My teen son was going through a rough time and was acting out with rebellion and defiance in our home. When he realized that it would not be tolerated, he moved to a house where he could do as he pleased. In my heart, I desired for him to return to our home, be reconciled to us, and live together in mutual love and respect. But it didn't happen as I wished. I cried every day for 6 weeks. My heart was broken. My son, whom I loved dearly, walked out of my life and wanted nothing to do with me. And all I did was love him. It wasn't right. It wasn't fair. Why was I being treated like the one who did something wrong? I took my broken heart to God. I unloaded my hurt feelings onto him, my loving Father and Comforter. As I did, I felt God's love softening my heart. The angry feelings that I felt toward my son were turned into love and forgiveness. This enabled me to love him unconditionally, even though his love was not being returned. At the very same time that I suffered the loss of my son, I also suffered the loss of a valued friendship. Sophia was one of the few women that I let completely into my heart. All of my life I had kept a guard up around my heart, and it kept me from having deep and lasting relationships with men and women. For 5 years, Sophia and I hung out together like chums, like sisters. We laughed together and cried together, dreamed together and prayed together. Whenever I felt that my heartstrings were being tugged, I consciously made the decision to allow it. I made the decision to love Sophia with my whole heart, feeling that we would be friends forever. The loss of Sophia's friendship and the pain that my heart felt reminded me of the pain from the loss of marriage to my first husband, Doug. It was by the grace of God that I opened my heart to love a man with such depth. However, I did have choices to make. I had to choose to let my guard down. I had to choose for my heart to be softened by love. I had to choose to let go of all of the feelings of fear and anger toward the men that abused me earlier in life. At this time in my life, I adopted a motto. It is a truth and a promise found in God's Word. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come that they would have life and have it to the fullest. Those were Jesus' words in John 10, verse 10. I made up my mind then that I would not allow the devil to keep me from having a fulfilling relationship with a man in marriage or from fulfilling relationships with my future children. Nonetheless, after 8 years of marriage and giving birth to 3 boys, my marriage to Doug came to an end. My heart was broken in half. I felt as if a part of me had died. I may have lost a friend in Sophia and a husband in Doug, but I don't regret for a minute that I loved them with my whole heart. I came to realize that by loving them to the fullest, I was living life to the fullest. This is victory for me. And because I did not allow my heart to be hardened when I experienced these losses, I opened my heart to love in new relationships. I know for certain that the devil wanted me to put up those once familiar walls around my heart to keep me from loving and being loved by others. If I did that, then I wouldn't have been able to experience the joy in loving my new husband and my new girlfriend. In addition, because I chose to love my son and Sophia unconditionally and forgive them, they have both returned to me and have chosen to love me in return. To love is joy. To love is to live. Yes, I made the choice a second time to allow my heart to open to another man to the depth of committing my life in marriage. My God is the God of second chances. It was my heart's desire to be a wife and mother before meeting Doug. When that marriage didn't succeed, my heart's desire did not change. On my wedding day, I shared my own personal handwritten vows with my new husband. I promised to live life to the fullest, to love unconditionally, and to laugh until my belly hurts. This past August, we celebrated our 8th anniversary over dinner in a 5-star restaurant where only the best cuts of meat are served. Of course, I ordered my favorite dinner item, filet mignon. Boy, did I have a smile on my face when the waitress set my plate before me with a juicy piece of steak in the shape of a perfect heart. I knew that it was a gift from my daddy God. I knew that he was pleased with me. I had not allowed my heart to be hardened. I chose to love even when that choice in the past brought me pain. I have kept my heart soft and tender. This is the desire of God's heart.